I am the oldest of 4 children. When it came time to start my own family, I wanted 4 children too. A year after my son was born, I amended that to 3 children. And now that my daughter is here, I am pushing my husband to stop at 2. The fact that I ever wanted 4 children is a compliment to my mom. I wanted 4 because she did it, and she made it look easy. Despite having all of us underfoot, my mom always had her makeup perfectly done. She was always impeccably dressed. She had a fantastic dinner prepared. She had the house clean, and she always had us signed up for activities like ice skating or swim team. That's right, my mother is Supermom. As for me, I have only 2 children. One of them is at school 5 days a week. The other requires about as much supervision as a hamster. And yet, I rarely put makeup on. I usually wear pajamas or yoga pants. I consider it a miracle if I have dinner made. The house is basically never clean, and my kids are lucky if they get to go to playgroup once a month. Because my mom is so perfect, it's not surprising that from a young age, she worked hard to nurture my talents and abilities and teach me to work hard, get good grades, and find places where I excel. And one of those talents was music. Before I go on, let me tell you a secret about my mom. Now that I've told you how great she is, I hope she will forgive me for sharing that she does have a flaw. My mom is tone deaf. She can't carry a tune at all. And yet, through the magic of genetics, my siblings and I all inherited our father's musical gifts. Though she can't actually tell if we are on pitch, she's always had confidence in us and was our #1 supporter and biggest fan. Not that it always worked out in our favor. Supporting us meant not just the benefits of piano and violin and voice lessons, but checking out every single musical and opera in the library's video collection. It meant I spent hours as a young child listening to tapes telling the life stories of the great composers and playing their music. She was determined to give us a real musical education. She was also determined to show the world what we could do. That's where the videos came from. I'm hoping that in my lifetime, not one of those suckers gets digitized and uploaded. Imagine the 4 of us, tow-headed and smiling. The 3 girls wearing matching Christmas jumpers and a festive sweater on my only brother, the youngest, standing, oldest to youngest, lined up on the stairs. The girls have our hair curled from having spent the night with it rolled up in our old baby socks. We sing together, we break into solos and duets. There are plodding but earnest attempts from those of us who play instruments. There are fake smiles and cheesy introductions. It's the kind of effort only an elderly relative could enjoy. But outside of these forced performances, I loved music. When I was in high school, I set my ambitions high. I had my heart set on being the best soprano in the school. I wanted to have the lead role in the school musical. I watched the girls in the years ahead of me and imagined I would someday fill their shoes, though I had no idea how I would do it. If it had just been up to me, all that ever might have happened is I would have just climbed the ladder and paid my dues, and my senior year, I would be rewarded, just like everybody else. Left to my own devices, I would have stayed in my bedroom with the door closed, pretending no one else could hear me while I worked on my Julie Andrews impression. The hills are alive sound of music. But what my mother lacks in musical talent, she makes up for in showmanship. And she saw the same possibilities that I did. She told me I had a face for the stage. At the time, I took this as a high compliment, though it strikes me now that it could be interpreted to mean that one looks better from far away than one does close up. She wanted me to audition for the role of Mabel in Pirates of Penzance. The role was destined for a senior girl, the current ruling soprano of the school, and no one questioned the outcome, including me. A week before auditions, I didn't even know I was capable of singing those cascading high notes. I'd considered nothing more than the chorus. When Mom told me I could be Mabel, which she still adorably pronounces Maybelle, I doubted her. After all, she had no ear for music. She didn't know how difficult it was. She couldn't understand how unqualified I was for one of the most difficult parts to sing in all of musical theater. But my mom is a force of nature. And after all, I had to sing something. So I learned the song, I practiced, and since she couldn't help me with the singing, she helped me do one of the things she does so well: put on a good show. I didn't beat out that senior girl for the part, but I did get double cast with her, surprising everyone, including myself. There are videos of this too, my great performance, frozen in time for all to see. There I am, doing exactly what I wanted to do. How often does that happen? How many of those wishes ever get granted? That videotape is at my parents' house. In it, I see myself, ringlets and braces, awkwardness and confidence. And it makes me happy to see myself doing what I wanted so badly to do. My mom knew I had Mabel in me. She knew it wasn't a fluke. All my life, she's seen things in me that I haven't been able to see in myself. I enjoy knowing that even now when we see each other, and I have gained weight and wear glasses and look utterly frazzled, verging on unkempt, that my mom still sees Maybelle in me. And because of that, I do too.